everyone, welcome back. It is still Hello Nigeria here on Wazobia Max TV. Now, earlier on, we said we're going to have a guest with us on this show who's going to be speaking to us about cervical cancer. You might notice that I'm wearing teal, and that's exactly why I chose to wear that this beautiful afternoon. Now, she's someone who's passionate about this cause and wants as many women as possible to be tested so that they do not have to die, or from cervical cancer, since it is very preventable when it is early detected. Now, I have with me in the studio, we have with us in the studio, Tewa Onasanya, who is the publisher of Exquisite magazine and, of course, the chief campaigner when it comes to cervical cancer for women in Nigeria. Now, she's not alone. We also have with us someone who's going to be sharing from a personal point of view, Tosin Mmobuosi, who is going to be speaking to us about her experience and early detection.
Yeah. Nice to have you in Hello Nigeria. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming. Now, I think, first of all, I would ask a question that many people would probably ask you in terms of why so passionate? Why? Obviously, it's a very dangerous illness, but why have you taken this on as a Nigerian?
As a Nigerian, well, as a woman,
Yes.
we took this on at Exquisite magazine because we found out that a lot of people in Nigeria are not aware of cervical cancer. And some of the few that are aware are not doing anything about it. And it's so unbelievable because cervical cancer is one of the few cancers that is 100% preventable and has a pre-cancer stage. And according to research from the WHO papers, one woman dies every hour of cervical cancer in Nigeria.
That's
from
an abnormally high rate.
It's an abnormally high
For
rate for something that can be
That is
prevented. So we took it upon ourselves at Exquisite magazine to make sure that the awareness is there. Because every October, a lot of people are talking about breast cancer everywhere you go. Yes. It's breast cancer, But the focus is not on cervical cancer, and it's killing just as many women. I mean, maybe not as many, because breast cancer is one woman every minute. Wow. But it's still killing a lot of women, and we need our women to be alive. We need our mothers, our sisters, our friends. We need these women to be alive. We shouldn't be dying of an illness that is preventable. It doesn't make sense.
All right, now I'm going to ask you a question that seems very obvious, but for the benefit of those people who are listening out there, for them to really understand, what is cervical cancer?
Cervical cancer is the cancer of the cervix, and the cervix is just like the neck that goes through before you get to the womb. So it's like the neck of the womb. And it's usually, obviously, the cervix is in us. I mean, some of the research we did, we found out that ladies didn't know, some of them didn't know that we had cervix.
Yes, that's why I asked the question.
Some of them are like, is it men or women that have cervix? And you're looking at them, shock horror, thinking, even in biology, I mean, did they not mention...
Elementary biology.
I know. Yeah. Knowing your body parts and things like that. But cervical cancer is the cancer of the cervix, and the cervix is the neck of the womb.
The cervix, and it's only women who have cervical cancer.
Men can't have cervical cancer because they don't have cervix. That's they don't. I know. They don't have the womb. They can't carry a baby. So it's only women. And with cervical cancer, it's a cancer that occurs through the HPV virus. HPV meaning human papilloma virus, which lives harmlessly in men. But when certain strains gets into women, it now starts replicating the cells, and the cells start growing abnormally. And what we're trying to advocate is that, once you're sexually active, get screened, because you don't know what kind of strain your man is carrying harmlessly, on him. So get screened, get tested. If they find precancerous cells, just like in this case that they did, you will be treated. And once you're treated, you can get vaccinated as well. And you don't have to worry about cervical cancer, but just be going for your regular screening.
Early detection really
Early detection is key. Our big hashtag is get screened. You have to get screened. It's not a case of, looking good on the outside, but not taking care of yourself on the inside. You need to be aware of the different things that could potentially cause a big risk. I mean, I would rather spend my money on shoes than to be curing cancer. I'm sorry, So if there's a process, if there's a way for me to be able to detect and to avoid that happening, I will go through that.
And of course, we know the big speech about prevention being better than cure.
I know, being better than cure.
Any day,
and way cheaper.
Yes,
it's
apart from
cheaper.
even the price, that is your number one guarantee that you will not die as a result.
Because
of an illness. It's a 50-50 chance, or sometimes even an 80-20 chance once you've been, depending on the stage of cancer that you
the
have.
person is on.
All right, let me talk to Tosin now. Tosin, you went for the detection and you want a living witness of how getting screened early helped you, you know, in life. Could you tell us the experience, please?
Okay, can I just say this? I am one of those people that I've been through the IMAC walk several times, and I usually go for exercise. You know, you think, okay, this is not going to happen to me. Let me just go for exercise and blah, blah, blah. But there was this time I was watching her on television, and she sounded so passionate about it.
As she does today.
Yeah, as she does. So I was like, okay. And then I said, okay, I have to go and check. Let me just go and check, no big deal. And then the hospital that I went, they checked for breast and for cervical cancer. And I could see my cervix on the screen. They found pre-cancerous cells. And I was like, okay, cool, because you never actually think it will happen to you.
Oh, yes. Nobody ever thinks that.
Before you walk in, you're like, yeah, I'm just going to check. And I'll go, okay, fine, you can leave. But when they saw something, I was like, okay, all right, so how do we move forward? They spoke to me about it, got some leaflets, and they said we would get you vaccinated. And they do like an ice.
It's called cryotherapy.
Yeah,
that's the treatment for the initial, when they find precancerous cells. That's the treatment they do.
Not
so that was
chemo.
the first thing.
No,
come on.
It's not at that stage yet.
We have to ask this question.
No,
That's
exactly,
fine.
because people might be,
Yes, I'm glad you're asking this question because that's the big thing. You know, it's not chemo because it hasn't gotten to a cancerous stage yet. It's pre-cancer cells, which is what we're saying. It's 100% preventable and it has a pre-cancer stage. Cervical cancer needs about 5-year incubation period. So God forbid if they hadn't caught it early, give a few more years, we would be talking about something. Exactly.
Yes.
So Tosin, how did you take it? And,
So how did I take it? It was a bit surprising. And obviously the first person I would tell would be my husband and then my sisters. But the good thing about it, because I've been hearing about it so much, I knew I wasn't supposed to go crazy. Just get the thing and the vaccine over a period of time and then I'll be fine. But there was one thing your doctor said to me when I was leaving. He said, if you're trying for a baby, you should be able to get pregnant. But if you don't within the next 6 months, come back. So that just made me think, okay, that means, you know, people trying to get pregnant, it might affect in some way. So I would say people should just go and check, you know, just, it doesn't
And it's
hurt.
good. We have this sort of, we feel we can pray over things and wish bad things away. There's no harm in, I mean, it's a 50-50 chance. Check.
Yeah, check and pray. And can I say something? Even when they told me something was there, I prayed. I wasn't scared because I knew Jesus was there. So we just...
You prayed and you did something about it.
I prayed. Exactly.
Even for people of faith, they say faith without works is dead.
It's dead.
So
Exactly.
you can have faith.
And my faith further was, look, I know nothing is going to happen. It is not going to turn into cancer. So let me just go through these treatments and be fine. So, you know,
And you're living testimony.
And what an assurance it is to know that, okay, you've dealt with that. You know,
Exactly.
You're not watching and thinking, I'm not sure
what's going to happen.
Exactly.
The problem, sorry, you're going to
I was going to say, that's one less thing to worry about. I mean, there's so many things that can happen in our lives and things like that. If there are some that we can actually prevent or, you know, get screened for, get tested for, why not do it? It doesn't hurt.
No,
it doesn't hurt.
Tewa, how long have you been, your organization, been doing this cervical cancer awareness?
We've been doing this since 2008.
And what's the awareness level like? Every time you go out on road shows and outreach, do you find out that you've reached a lot of people? Are they aware or there's still so much work to be done?
We feel like there's still so much work to be done. It's unbelievable. I mean, we're doing this in Lagos. We're doing it in Ikeja at this time. We used to do it on the island. You know, yes, the few people come. We still get a situation where people join us for the walk like Tosin did and go home thinking it will never happen to me. And they don't do anything about it. And every year, year after year, we get people come in to say, oh, okay, yeah, cervical cancer, I've heard about it, but what is it? So it still shows that a lot of awareness needs to be done, and it can't be done, everything can't be done by us. Luckily enough, there are different organizations that are doing different things at different points in the year. But what we do ours every September, because September is actually for gynecological cancers. So all the cancers that are below the belt, which is like cervical, vaginal, ovaries, and all sorts of different ones. January is Cervical Cancer Awareness Month. You guys know about it. and we try to raise awareness there as well. What we try to do, I mean, our magazine is sold nationally, so we try to put information about cervical cancer in every issue we sell and try to encourage people. But I mean, that's just the few we're able to, I mean, yes, there are thousands, but those are the ones we're able to reach. And we just need a lot of stuff to be done not just by individuals, but by different organizations and, you know, businesses, different people as well, because it's still killing a lot of women. And bear in mind that, yes, we raise money and go to some rural areas to screen people. We've been to Port Harcourt, we've been to Abuja, but it's not enough. We're screening maybe, you know, 500 people today, maybe 1,000, you know, the following year or something.
To enjoy more of these our Ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love am.